Hi again, everyone. Scottiplier PopCultFan here, and in this video, one movie that I want to review that I have seen is a movie that Hayden Christensen is in, and I want to review this movie ahead of the Fan Expo I'm attending in a couple weeks, because I love Hayden Christensen, even though the Star Wars prequel trilogy had its backlash with some of the acting back in the day. Jumper, which came out in 2008. I want to go ahead and give my thoughts on this movie, and also this movie has a surprisingly ensemble cast. When it first came out in 2008, this movie came out the same year as the first Iron Man, which Samuel L. Jackson also starred in. Going into this, this movie, Jumper, is about this man who has had this ability to teleport ever since he was 5 years old, and he wasn't the only one. There were other jumpers out there that had teleportation abilities, and this movie, it doesn't go into full backstory for the jumpers or like the organization that Samuel L. Jackson's character Roland is a part of. They don't delve into that backstory too much, which I kind of wish this movie had a sequel at some point, but that never really materialized. And I know there's like this spin-off series called Impulse that I think is available to watch on YouTube, I believe. But yeah, this movie, I wouldn't say it's a great film by any means, but it's kind of in the same vein as, say, like the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movies or the Fantastic Four movies with Chris Evans. In that same kind of vein as comic book films of the early 2000s, this movie kind of has similar kind of tropes as this superhero flick, which is based on a novel, actually. Jumper is actually based on a novel. You'd be surprised how many movies are based on novels. Wow. But yeah, and another actor I forgot was in this movie was Michael Rooker. He plays David's dad in the film, and it's funny seeing Michael Rooker in this after seeing the Guardians of the Galaxy movies with him as Yondu, or on The Walking Dead. He's more well known for his roles in those. And it's just kind of funny seeing quite a few Marvel actors in this movie, which is funny because in the Jumper movie, there's this one line of dialogue that David says. It's like, let's do a Marvel team up. And it's kind of just ironic hearing that line coming out of Hayden Christensen's mouth in this film, considering this movie came out the same year as the first Iron Man. I think that this movie is enjoyable. I don't think it's bad. I think it's an average early 2000s superhero flick. I think it's fun. I do think that Hayden Christensen's performance as David, it's not that much different to his performance as Anakin Skywalker in the Star Wars movies, honestly. I mean, it came out around that time, right? Back then when the prequel movies got a lot of flack and bad rep, especially from performances from various actors in those prequel films. And that's really not Hayden Christensen's fault. It's not just, the prequel trilogy had, its issues. And I will admit that, Attack of the Clones especially, Hayden's performance was kind of, unique, I guess you could say. And, his energy as David in this is not too different from Anakin Skywalker in Attack of the Clones. So, his performance is not too bad, but it's not, amazing either. And another actor in this movie, Rachel Bilson, who plays the love interest to David. The beginning of this movie is within the first 8 or 10 minutes. Their younger versions are played by Max Thieriot and Anna Sophia Robb, and I think in regards to that, I think I like how this movie begins. I like the way it starts. It kind of the kind of thing that you would expect for like pre-teens from back in the day in superhero properties, like Smallville, for instance, kind of had that same kind of energy in the first 8 to 10 minutes of this film, and I kind of liked the way it was. And I'll go into this whole spiel after I do my full review. So yeah, I liked it, and I think that surprisingly, this movie has a pretty intense third act with its action sequences. Samuel L. Jackson, his character is named Roland in the film, and he's sort of like the primary villain antagonist of the film, and it's kind of interesting the way his character was going after jumpers, not just David, and this group that he's a part of has been trying to kill jumpers for like hundreds of years or something like that. And that was the one bit of backstory that we got between the jumpers and the group that Roland's a part of. And I thought that was rather fascinating. I like the score of this movie. I think the movie was decently directed. Doug Liman directed this film, I believe, and he did a decent job with some of the action sequences. Like, the choreography was pretty good in this film, and I liked where the movie ended. Kind of it's kind of a romance story, really, between David and Millie, and I liked Millie's character, even though she, goes in the same kind of direction as a lot of love interests do in superhero properties like this, and it's okay. It's kind of like Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane in the Spider-Man movies, but I enjoyed that too, even though going into that same kind of trope as a lot of other movies do, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Not bad, not great, average. I'd say maybe like a C+, yeah, B- maybe, around that kind of grade for me with the Jumper movie. And all right, going into this whole spiel / rambling of some of the actors, Hayden Christensen, he's going to be at the Fan Expo that I'm attending in a couple weeks, and I'm going there with my buddy 𝘁𝘂𝗆𝐿𝐴, and with how the way my weird luck has been going recently, it's funny because I actually got this week off from work, on vacation this week, actually. It was a bit of a mistake on the management and scheduling. It was a bit of a mistake, but I was able to get this week off. So with the way my weird luck has been going recently, it's interesting, because there's this other thing that hopefully will work out, because I follow this YouTube channel, Abe Nation. I might be doing something with him within that same week. I'm going to the Fan Expo, so I've got some stuff coming up that I'm really excited for. And the Fan Expo, Hayden Christensen is going to be there, Andy Serkis, and Cameron Monaghan, all three of them with history and Star Wars. And I'm just so ecstatic for that Fan Expo. You guys have no idea. But, okay, real talk in regards to a few of the actors in this movie. 𝗁𝘂𝗆𝗄𝗏, she's in this, and as a younger version of Millie, and also Max Thieriot. Max Thieriot, I know him a lot more as Dylan, Norman Bates' brother on Bates Motel, and I really like him as an actor. I thought he did a pretty good job as a younger version of David in this, and I was looking it up, and Max Thieriot, he's from here. He's from the San Francisco Bay Area. He was from Santa Clara County, which is not too far from where I live. That's something that after I watched this movie and looked up the research with some of the actors, like Max Thieriot's from here. He's from the San Francisco Bay Area, and just based on the fact alone that he worked closely with 𝗁𝘂𝗆𝗏 in this, just kind of a bit of a connection there. Yeah. Max Thieriot, he got married in Lake Tahoe, like within, like before Bates Motel was filmed, Max Therio was living in this area, I believe, and he got married like, I think 2012, like 1 year before Bates Motel started filming, and he got married in Lake Tahoe, which is funny because I used to go to Lake Tahoe all the time on vacation when I was younger, so this is just a weird connection. Like, I mean, I know it's not really much, but and to me it is, because, you know, because of everything I've been through where 𝗺cie𝗃𝗃 is concerned, and just based on the fact alone that he's from here and he works closely with 𝗺cie𝗃𝗃 in this film, Jumper, it's just this weird little connection there, even though it's not really that much. But considering the Fan Expo and the fact that both Hayden Christensen and Kieran Monahan are going to be at this expo in a couple weeks, if my weird luck is any indication recently, and I actually do meet them at the Fan Expo, they'll create more direct connections to 𝗺cie𝗃𝗃, because Cameron Monaghan, he starred in this TV show called 𝗺cie Street with 𝗺cie𝗃𝗃. So both Hayden Christensen and Cameron Monaghan have a connection to 𝗺cie𝗃𝗃 in this movie Jumper and this TV show called 𝗺cie Street. So, yeah, I mean, if I actually do meet them, Hayden and Cameron Monaghan at the expo, it'll create more direct connections to 𝗺cie𝗃𝗃, which is part of this puzzle that is my life, as I always say. Oh my goodness, but it's just so surreal thinking about it. It's just, these connections don't stop, like ever since, even with that, what happened with that Garen Sparks guy who worked on the Rebel Ridge movie. It's just, these connections keep happening and they can't stop. I can't seem to control it. And I just, how much more connected can two people be without ever crossing paths? Seriously. I want to move on from my feelings on 𝗺cie𝗃𝗃. I really do. But these things keep happening, and it's like, oh my goodness. It's a lot. It drives me crazy a little. But yeah, those are all my thoughts about the Jumper movie, and the fact that, you know, it's the idea of actually meeting some of my favorite actors at this expo, and the fact that a couple of them have worked with 𝗺cie𝗃𝗃. Like, the idea of that is just so surreal to me. I'm a little bit flustered about it, but I'm really excited for the Fan Expo nonetheless. So, yeah, that should do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm not sure what my next video will be, but I'll let you all know. So take care and have a great day. Peace and jump.